The Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns are facing off in the second round of the 2023 NBA playoffs. This is actually a rematch from the 2021 NBA playoffs, but this time around, both teams look a whole lot different. There's lots of storylines and lots of intrigue with this series, so I am breaking it all down for you today, and I'm giving you my prediction for who will win this series. Guys, be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an NBA video. I'll begin by talking about the home team, the number 1 seed, Denver Nuggets. They made short work of the Timberwolves in their opening round matchup, winning that series 4-1. And I feel like the Nuggets have something to prove, and I think they're showing why they belong in the conversation as one of the elite teams in the NBA. Of course, it begins and ends with Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP. The Joker is a Swiss Army knife when he's out there on the floor. He can give you points, rebounds, assists, shooting. He really does it all. You know, in this league we hear a lot about unicorns, but to me, I call Jokic the Uni-King. Then as number 2 is Jamal Murray, who always seems to turn it up a notch when it comes to playoff basketball. He's doing that yet again this year, leading the Nuggets in scoring. Michael Porter Jr. at the small forward spot. He's a scorer at all 3 levels. This guy is really coming into his own, and he has matured as a playmaker, a dribbler, and a shooter. I think the confidence he has is through the roof, and he is a terrific third option on this team. And what about Aaron Gordon? He's had a great year for the Nuggets. The main thing with him in this series is he's going to really have to be locked in defensively if Denver wants to advance past the Suns. Then if you look further down the roster, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP. He's a good 3-and-D glue guy. Bruce Brown, I love his game. He's like a bowling ball when he's out there. He has such an interesting game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's used to combat the stars that the Suns have. Then there's Jeff Green. He's been in the league for like 100 years, but he brings that veteran presence to this squad. All this to say, Denver better be ready to play because this Phoenix team is a very dangerous 4 seed. Here's the breakdown on them. After knocking out a pretty beat-up Clippers team in 5 games, the Suns are ready to keep bulldozing their way through the Western Conference. All eyes will be on the big 4 of Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. And what about Devin Booker? He has been playing like a madman these playoffs, leading the postseason in points, and that's after Jimmy Butler scored like 50-something a couple games ago. And besides points, he's also leading all players in steals this postseason. Flat out, he is a superstar. And speaking of superstars, Kevin Durant, he has fit seamlessly into this Suns team. I feel like he's just heightened the play of everyone else on the roster as well. There's just so many ways these guys can score, so many ways they can make plays on the court. DeAndre Ayton, let's not forget about him. I think he's really been playing within himself and filling that role as someone who can score inside and crash the boards. And the maestro who brings it all together, CP3. Chris Paul going down as one of the best point guards to ever play the game, and he does it very, very well with the Phoenix Suns, and he can also score when called upon to as well. Further down the Suns roster, Torrey Craig has actually surprised me a little bit with the way that he's been playing so far this postseason. We'll see if he can keep that up against his former team in the Denver Nuggets, and we'll see if his shot keeps falling. He's been shooting it very, very well. The rest of the bench, though, kind of scares me if I'm a Phoenix Suns fan. If I'm being honest, I think Josh Okogie is more of a 10th man rather than one of the first guys you'd bring off your bench. Bismack Biyombo and Jock Lawndale are big, but they're pretty one-dimensional players. Probably more so in that third-string center category. Not really the type of guys you can rely on for big minutes in the playoffs. I would actually love to see more from Terrence Ross or Landry Shamet, but they haven't proven a lot to me as of yet. Okay, so what we've all been waiting for. Who is my pick for the team that's going to win this series? Well, since acquiring Durant at the trade deadline, the Suns are actually 12-1 when KD plays. Their only loss has come against the Clippers in Game 1 of their last series. And then Chris Paul, the future Hall of Famer, helping provide that offensive balance with Durant and Booker. The offense for this Suns team is just insane with the way that they're able to stack points on the board in a hurry. For Denver, Jokic, of course, a basketball savant. He never ceases to amaze me. Jamal Murray is making people think back to his run in the 2020 NBA bubble, and that's seen by the fact that he rose to the occasion and scored 40 points in Game 2 of a tight opening round victory over the Timberwolves. And as I mentioned, he is leading the Nuggets in scoring this postseason. But what it all may come down to is Devin Booker's discovery as a two-way difference maker. I think that's the main thing that distinguishes him from other talented players in this series. So if Booker does, in fact, rise to the challenge, it might be the next phase of a pivotal playoff run for the 26-year-old. I see this one ending in 7 games with a series victory by the Phoenix Suns. Guys, let me know in the comments who you got winning this matchup and drop your predictions down below. I want to see them. Like and subscribe too. Helps out the channel a lot. Oh yeah, Nuggets and Suns. I'm going to need my sweet and sour barbecue sauce and a fresh pair of Ray-Bans for this one. And can we please find some minutes for Vlatko Cancar? I mean, come on.